Victoria Fashion. Welcome back to my channel. So I have a special guest. I have Black Heroin Gallery here on my channel today. I have Eyajo, Joseph, and Kris Fantom here. So I'm going to be interviewing them, and they're going to tell me about Black Heroin Gallery. So Eyajo, how did Black Heroin Gallery started?
Let's see. 2007. After Dan and I decided to end the vamps, master vamps. I knew that I wanted to keep on and do something. Wanted something darker, and so I kind of thought about it a few years before then. But I was still busy with the vamps, so after it ended in 2007, then I decided that was the time to do it. And so I started it then.
So, what can you say that Black Heroin Gallery is? You mentioned that it's darker than Astro Vamps. It's more of a deathrock feel, or?
Yeah, it's more of a deathrock feel. I think there's a bit of a kind of, I don't know, a little bit of art, like a poetic art to it as well. Yeah, and but it's like old school. I mean, I was always a big fan of the old school stuff, and what I was doing before didn't get as dark or kind of gritty as old school that I liked. So, I knew I'd want to try something, eventually myself, and so that's why I started writing stuff, and to come up with this Black Heroin Gallery. And in the vamps, I didn't write any of the music. I just wrote the lyrics. So I wanted something that I could write my music for. So that's why I came up with it.
So are you the singer?
I'm the vocalist, and Kris is the guitarist. I do the guitar. I write everything on guitar, and I'll record it. But live, I usually I don't really play it live because I like to move around. Although now it looks like I'm learning to play the bass to do live. Well, actually, just transposing over to the bass, so transposing to the bass, so we can get live. But yeah, I record it and write it on guitar, and then Kris, he kicks ass and plays it live for us. So.
This is your first band, right? Correct?
Yeah, basically.
And how do you like being involved in being in a band, Kris?
Well, I've been playing music and doing things in terms of poetry and things just artistically and musically related for a long time by myself. And it's a lot funner, and it's a different experience to do it with people. Like, especially if you get along with them and they're your pals, So like Tony the drummer, me and him, we just make stuff up sometimes, and it's really cool. I've never had the experience before being in a band. The same thing with basically Black Heroin Gallery. Of course, he writes it all, but he's a good writer, so I don't mind.
So it feels like a brotherhood when you're in a band.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony's been working with me way through the vamps, and he's been working with us since 1993. I've been working with Tony, so he's been working a lot. Tony's got a couple other bands that he works with, but he's been there for he's been there when Black Heroin Gallery had this long curve. It took 8 years to get the first album out. Long learning curve. I didn't know how to play the guitar, So I took 4 years to just lock myself up in a fucking room and just play the guitar nonstop every fucking day.
Oh wow!
So I got it, and actually it only ended up taking me about a year and a half, and I was ready to play live. But so I learned pretty quick, so I was happy about that. But I got everything composed and written in those 4 years, and I wanted it to be really good what I did on this first one. So I threw some songs out, I wrote some new ones, and threw some lyrics away, and rewrote a couple things, and it was the most expensive album I've ever recorded because I wrote some of the stuff in the studio instead of just getting prepared like we did in the last band. The vamps, we were prepared, we went in there. But I was just like, I'd go in there and play it and be like, oh, no, I fucked it up, and play it again and again, and then I would, let me try this instead. And so, yeah, it was a long journey to the first album. The second one, the stuff coming up now, it's not as hard. I kind of got a rhythm down to it. It's kind of a lot easier. It's coming to me easier. So, and I play better now. I play a lot better now. But But yeah, it was a long learning curve to that, and then we went live a year and a half ago, and we did 3 shows, and it was great. Our last show was with the 45 Grave. And we did 45 Grave, and this year the album wasn't done, so we took the rest of the year, finished the album and stuff, and of last year, and now 2017. After getting Kris about 8 or 9 months ago, we've been rehearsing, and the band's ready to play live now. We just, but I want to have a little bass, so I'm gonna learn to do some bass and try to and hopefully get out in about 2 or 3 months. So that, and we're looking to shoot some videos. So bring some.
So you're gonna do music videos?
Yeah, bring some of that creepy stuff to life, or at least a dark performance video.
So, what would you say is one of your big music influences?
Mine, I'd say like the Virgin Prunes, of course, Roz's Christian Death, Bauhaus, Bowie, the New York Dolls.
Yeah, you know what? When the baby doll, when you were in the Baby Dolls.
Oh yeah, that band. Yep.
It sort of gave me the feel of the New York Dolls.
Yeah. I love the New York Dolls, and let's see. I like some of the glam metal, the glam stuff that's going on here. Like I like the Stars from Mars, and I like the Ultras. Actually, we're going to do a big article on the Ultras. And that next issue, and this issue we did the Stars from Mars, but they were really great local bands that were really something cool. So, but and I like them, and I like a lot of my contemporaries. I mean, I'm kind of a big fan of all the bands, I also like some obscure stuff, like I guess Velvet Underground isn't too obscure. Tom Waits. I like Leonard Cohen. He sings his poetry over there. I'm a poet, always a poet first, so. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to do this, because, I didn't want everything to be completely structured, and I'm a minimalist. I have this fucking obsession with making the most simplest songs. Within 2 or 3, it drives my drummer crazy. Doesn't it? Drives him crazy. Yeah. But
he likes complicated.
But bless his heart, I mean, he's just great at what he does. But and he does some great riffs and stuff. He's great musicianship. But he's learned to we're gonna do it like that. But couldn't do it without him. But I know it drives him crazy sometimes. Why doesn't it change? But dude, it sounds perfect like this. His Beautiful Darkness is just one progression all the way through the whole song.
I really love that song. It's, and then in the music video, it's just I could tell there's so much emotion towards it.
There is, and that's the one. That's one of the ones we're going to shoot. I have 2 versions. I have a performance video of that, and I have a video that's actually an enactment with an actress or something. So it just depends on what money that I can put out on that one, but. That's when we're going to tackle that one, and maybe the Worm Prince or As She Slumbers or something. So, which are very obscure and bizarre in their own ways. So
the album established later on this year, last year, correct?
The end of November of last year, so kind of like the beginning of this year.
And also, speaking of your album, of the Dreadful Dead of
Hoop Snake Hollow.
Hoop Snake Hollow. Sorry.
What's a hoop snake?
So this was also released.
Yes, that was released in January.
And this is your magazine, right?
Right, it's a magazine of all kinds of death rock bands and dark bands, and a few obscure dark bands that don't really have a home anywhere. You could say they're this or that, but they're cool, so they're in here. So, and I just thought, hey, well, I actually came up with a magazine so I could always draw on the cover. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, Eyajo, so tell me more about the magazine.
Pestilent Windfolk. Well, I think it's been a long time since the scene has had any real magazine, especially in Los Angeles. So decided to do a magazine, and I contacted Tony. Said, Tony, you need to help me out. We got to interview some bands. Just kind of wanted to bring that old school black and white magazine back to back out, something that to document the scene. And Black Heroin Gallery, as well as myself and even Tony and Kris, they, you know, everybody has a lot of projects they're involved with. So I also wanted a medium that I could just like, okay, I came up with this. I want to do this. I want to start talking about it. So that's another reason for the magazine. But there's so many great artists, you know, in the scene, and I just wanted to bring, you know, have a medium that people can come in and I can start bringing attention to those, because the more that people know about all the bands that are in here and all the usual artists, or the better for the scene. More people get interested and everything like that. Oh my God, we have somebody walking over here right now. But anyways, so. It's our new fan, awesome. But anyways, so that's why the magazine, and of course we try to do everything as top notch as we can. So and I had Erin, she's a friend of ours. Tony's known her even longer than I have, and she's the one that did all the graphics on it and set it up. And I mean, you know, Tony and I and three other people did some interviews, and then we'd send these, and she would set up everything for it. And of course, you know, did a lot of directing. There's some art, but the next issues, you know, it's got a lot of other great things going on in it, and you know, it'll probably end up being it'll be an annual magazine, and it'll probably end up being the second or third issue. You know, probably be up to like a 20, you know, like a 200 or 225. You know, because I'm looking to put in some other art and some models and of course continue with the bands and obscure artists. And Tony and I have this section called Lest We Forget, and we're kind of covering, what is it, the old glam punks and the bands that people forgot about, but we know they were around, they were cool, you know.
All the bands that didn't get their due credit, actually.
Exactly. So
Stars from Mars, right?
Stars from Mars and the Ultras.
Should we say who we have coming up next?
Yeah, you can tell them about the Ultras.
So in the first one we had Stars from Mars, which was a great band. I mean, that was more Yehu's idea. I love the band too. I think they're awesome. But okay, just in my opinion, I think the Ultras are a lot better band. A bit more melodic, a bit more better musicians, better songwriters. But I like both bands. But you know, my choice is the Ultras, which I'm glad we're covering in the next issues. They're a phenomenal band. It's almost like if you mix Black Sabbath with Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie era, like you put them together, it's really awesome. So. And Alistair, R.I.P. Alistair, he was an amazing singer, real androgynous and real melodic, and yeah. So it's a shame he's deceased, but.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Ultras too. I mean, of course, I'm a big fan of the Stars from Mars, and I know Dominic personally, but they just blew me away when I came to Hollywood. I saw them, then the Glamour Punks, and then from there on, I'm like, fuck that. I gotta.
He's gonna be a Glamour Punk?
I was gonna ask Glamour Punks.
Have you ever heard of the Glamour Punk?
No, I haven't.
You gotta check them out.
Okay, I'll check them out.
I don't know if they'll do the interview, but I'll ask them. You know, we'll ask them. But yeah. So, sorry. So that's one of the little special. Still me. I guess I can hold it. Yeah, I'm sorry. So that's still one of the special like sections we got, and you know there were like some obscure goth bands that didn't get a lot of attention. Like remember December Flowers and stuff like that. So you know some of these bands we want to contact to do that. You know.
There's another band I thought was really cool. Do you remember Celebrity Skin?
I like Celebrity Skin. Yeah.
You ever heard of them?
Is it like?
It's kind of more quirky, sort of
like 70, you know,
yeah,
70s or something. Damn, the wind.
I don't know who you compare them to, but I'd like to do them. I used to have their vinyl, but I don't know.
Didn't Hole made a song called Celebrity Skin?
Who?
Yeah.
Hole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't think it's about the band.
Oh,
No,
okay.
yeah. No, the band, the Celebrity Skin, they were pretty cool. They kind of remind me a bit of
sort of like Jellyfish. You ever heard of Jellyfish?
Mm-mm.
Like Jellyfish meets the Dolls or something.
Yeah, I think they're kind of like the New York Dolls, you know.
A little bit.
But they were better. They were like
They
more
were a
accomplished
bit more,
musicians and stuff.
Songwriting.
Yeah.
70s vibes, like maybe ABBA melodies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But they kind of look like Perry Farrell in the early days when he had the green dreadlocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that sort of like
PS
neo kind of alternative.
Neo Psychedelia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like that. I might have to re-listen to them. I might not like them as much now, but remembering back
I
would be interesting.
I haven't heard them for a while.
I might hear them now and think, I don't like it.
So I know Eyajo was previously in a band before the Vamps called the Baby Dolls. Were you also in the Baby Dolls as well?
Yeah, I was in the Baby Dolls. I joined in 92. What year was it? 93.
93.
Yeah, I joined for the Blood and Flowers EP. I joined the Astrovamps in 93. I had my band Will-O-Wisp at that time. I've had Willow since 87. And I am Will-O-Wisp now. I've gone through like 10 zillion members. But anyways, yeah, I joined for the Blood and Flowers EP. And then I wasn't in the band for a period. And then you guys released...
The self-titled.
And that was without me, right? It was with, what's his name on?
Yeah.
Kris?
Yeah.
What was his name?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. Kris something. Anyways, then I came back in the band, did all the subsequent following albums. And then, long story short, we broke up in 2007. Thank you, Dan. We love you still. But the legacy lives on. And me and Eyajo are going to keep it going no matter what you think. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. Back in 1989, I had the Baby Dolls demo. We came here to Hollywood in 89 and visited Hollywood Boulevard. And I bought the Baby Dolls demo. And I bought a Christian Death shirt and a bunch of other crap. So when we first attempted to live here in 89, we were here for about a month. We were squatting, living with like punkers and all this like crap inside of our truck. We got a bunch of shit stolen, whatever. Then we went back for a year and then came back. But when we went back, we did a show and we covered a Baby Doll song called Stupid Sleazy 16. Yeah, off the demo tape. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. There's no recordings of it, unfortunately, but I wish there was. That'd be so awesome. We might have been the only band that ever covered that song in the whole world, right?
What was your passion? Like, how did you find your passion in music?
When I was a little sprout, Elvis Presley was initially my first inspiration, Elvis Presley. And I actually would drive down the road on my big wheel trying to impress little girls. And I cut out a piece of a cardboard and I put it in my chest and I'd put a shirt over it and tape it in. I put like fake hair on it. And I'd drive by on my big wheel singing like Elvis songs, like trying to like wreck in front of him and shit. It was crazy. But anyways, from Elvis it went to like Kiss. That was my first big band that made me what I am, you know, like thank you Kiss for fucking my life up. I mean, making it what it is. I think 1993 there used to be a magazine called BAM Magazine. It was a free publication they'd put all around. It originated in San Francisco, but then they had an LA division of BAM Magazine. So there's a little independent section, and I forgot the woman. She actually signed some bands of Triple X. Oh, Catherine Turman. I'm sure nobody knows who she is. Maybe they do. But she signed bands on Triple X Records, and she was a talent scout. She'd go around Hollywood looking for bands, and she did a review on my band, gave us a good write-up with a picture. So maybe 2 months later, my girlfriend at the time, because we had our phone number where people would contact us, she's all, Tony, oh my God, someone's on the phone for Gene Simmons is interested in your band. I'm all, what? I'm all, are you serious? So, I swear to God, get the phone, just get it. I'm all, you're fucking with me. So, no, just come on, like, grab it. I was all right, whatever. So I'm very, like, paranoid. I don't trust anyone. I was all, hello? And they're all, oh, this is a talent scout. I work with Gene Simmons in his Beverly Hills office. And he saw your band Will-O-Wisp in BAM Magazine. He's interested in getting a demo. He might want to hear it and check you guys out. Can you please send one? So at that time, I thought it was someone I was working with at a telemarketing company. It sounded like this girl I worked with. And I was like, oh, is this Susie or whatever? And oh, no. And I'm all, how can I believe this? Like, is this a prank? She's all, well, what can I do to get you to believe me? And I was like, fuck, I don't know. So I'll tell you what. We'll hang up. Call this number back. I'm going to give you a number. This is where I'm at. You can call it after whatever. And I'll let the answering machine pick up. It's Gene, like, if you know his voice. I was like, yeah, I know it. Call back, so, hello, this is blah, blah, publications you've reached. And I knew his voice. I'm like, holy shit, cool. So I'm like, whatever. So I called back. I'm all right, cool. I got the address. Sent the demo tape. Months went by. I didn't hear nothing. I kept calling, like, hey, Gene, like, this is Tony Will-O-Wisp, like, you care. Just give me a call back. Tell us you hate us. Just anything. Just give me a definite answer. I'm sick of waiting around. It's driving me crazy. Like, probably 5 months went by. Got a call. My girlfriend's always there. Oh my God, it's Gene Simmons. It's really him. He's on the phone. I'm all, yeah, are you serious? She's all, I swear to God. I'm all, yeah, whatever. And it was really him. I talked to him. I don't remember the whole conversation, but I remember some points he made. One of them was when someone doesn't call you back and 4 or 5 months goes by, they're trying to tell you something. I remember that. Yeah. And then he said, now about the demo, because you're going to keep calling. I just want to get all this over with. Is it so strange? I mean, you got one song that's thrash, then you go into a country meets cartoon theme and another song. It's so all over the place. I mean, it's very unmarketable. So I made the point of, well, look at Kiss when you first came out. You guys were very unmarketable. Nobody wanted your band. I mean,
He's like, do what I say.
yeah,
What I did.
because I was like, when Kiss came out, a lot of people considered you guys a joke. I mean, people would throw shit at you when you walk down the street. Like, what are these clowns? They did their first photo shoot, and the photographer brought out clown noses for them. So he actually thought they were clowns missing their clown noses. He was serious. So I don't know what he probably talked over that. But anyways. So yeah, that's the story of it, and that's true. I swear on everything. And he actually had a little conversation with me. I don't remember everything, but those are a few little points I remember. But there you go. Like it helped me any, but whatever, I can talk about it.
That's really all he like.
Hey, at least he hates us. I can say, hey man, Gene Simmons called me and hates us.
Yeah.
At least I accomplished it.
Well, now he's a businessman. That's all he cares about now.
Well,
Yeah.
His whole thing was I want something I can profit from and make money from. Bottom line, money. I mean, he was wealthy beyond anyone's imagination by that point. So he doesn't give a shit about originality. It's like, oh, what's the bottom line? My money, you know? So he wasn't hearing it. He didn't want to hear my defense of being unique.
How do you feel about being a drummer in the scene? Because I know from what I've heard about bands and music, it's really difficult to find a drummer. So are you in multiple bands besides Black Heroin Gallery?
Yes. Right now, Black Heroin Gallery, of course. Will-O-Wisp, I'll always keep going, finding people. Then I'm in a band called Salem's Lot. It's very cool. It's like thrash, glam, metal. So check that out, Salem's Lot. It's a pretty kick-ass band. We're kind of on the rise. And then me and Curtis have a little side band called, here, you tell them about it.
Yeah, me and Tony have a side project called Shadows in the Ossuary.
Did you just started the band too?
Yeah, me and Tony were kind of rehearsing and jamming by ourselves one time, and I showed him some of my personal material that I've been working on for like several months. But he's like a genius, you know, so he can just make something up really quick. And then I was like playing it for him, and he started playing really complicated stuff to go with it, and it sounded completely new. And so then we just started working it from there, and we have like 5 songs now. We're just continually working on them. It's kind of like hard to describe. It's got like, from my end, it's got like gothic rock and death rock and post-punk influences. And from his end, it's got like heavy metal influences of different varieties. And when it comes together, it sounds interesting. It sounds kind of like progressive rock or something. It's hard to describe, but it's really cool.
Well, have you played a live show with Black Heroin Gallery at all?
We haven't had any live shows since I've been in the band. Like, I'm pretty good when I'm in the spotlight. I actually kind of enjoy the attention in a way, as long as I have something interesting to do, you know, or to show people. Something interesting to say. It's not like something that makes me nervous. It's more so something that makes me excited, so I'm not really concerned about that. It's just going to be like, I don't know, minor differences, things to learn about. I guess, I don't even know yet. That's probably not a lot. Probably minor adjustments.
So I'm assuming that you are excited to play once you guys start playing, you guys are excited for your first live show.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, it already excites me to come rehearse and stuff, because I really like the feeling of playing music live, like with other people and being in sync and it being loud and just raw. It feels really good. It's like kind of you get something off your chest. It's like letting off steam, you know? It's like a load taken off your shoulders. It just feels good to play music with other people. It feels really good. I can only imagine how good it would feel to like be in front of a lot of people, you know, playing for a whole crowd. That would probably be the same thing, but even better, you know?
You know, we're getting some talk from some of the festivals overseas. I know the Wave Treffen is already going to happen, so we're not doing that. But hopefully we'll get that next year. Yeah, next year, the year after that. So, no, and the year after that. It'll be nice to have them, you know, like a couple years. Let me just keep doing. So, and there's some other festivals.
that are coming up and stuff like that. And I'm looking into doing some experimental thing of maybe trying to set up some kind of residency for the band so everybody could see the band once a month or every other month. It's an experiment that I wanted to try because that's kind of how they did it back in the day, like First Avenue, Prince's Club, there'd be a residency for the band, and yeah, and then like the Rum Runner, when the Duran Duran started out, they had a residency where they were the house band all for every week for the month and stuff. And I always thought that's kind of a dying art, obviously, because everybody's like, oh, how many can you bring in for this and that? But I'm looking into maybe renting a little, I don't know if a playhouse or something where we can put our big show up, because we're looking to have these kind of odd artistic silent films that I'm kind of going to do, and these guys will be doing them with me and stuff like that. And however those films come out, we're looking to have that kind of stuff in the background and stuff like that. Have a little bit bigger show. So, other than, so I'm going to look into that, and if not, we'll actually do that in some of our bigger venues, not the little coffee houses or anything like that. But so we're looking for that, and we like to keep on the festival circuit. So festivals are always fun because then now you get to feel what it feels like to be a rock star, because you're playing in thousands of people instead of just a few hundred or 10 or 20 curious people.
Well, I'm lucky I'm in different bands. It's kind of my idea too, and I can play more festivals. Yeah, we did a show in Rocklahoma, in Oklahoma. It was last May. Huge. I mean, there's probably Scorpions played, Rob Zombie, a lot of big bands. Later, Megadeth played, but we played an earlier slot on a side stage. I think we played at 1 o'clock, but there was a big crowd by then. So yeah, we played to a big audience, probably at least about, I'd say maybe 2,000, maybe 1,500. But I mean, half on the other side, there's 30,000 people by the time Scorpions came on. But it was pretty cool. Yeah. And we played in the sun with the sun right in our face. But it was pretty badass. I mean, we had a big bunch of people interested. And we'd walk around, and we looked so crazy. Everybody thought we were this band called Avatar. I don't know if you ever heard of them, from Sweden. Avatar. They're kind of like a Cradle of Filth, sort of. But yeah, they all thought we were them. We're on, oh man, we're Salem's Lot. We'll take a picture anyways. And we had all these people just following us, dude. We put 100 pictures that day, so good promotion.
Mara Luna's coming up this year. Did the lineup already, was already set?
I've had some emails of people asking us if we're doing some festivals, and I guess people are starting to play Black Heroin Gallery a lot, because we're starting to get people say, oh, we just heard you guys. Are you guys going to come to the festival? I'm like, I don't know. I know that they have kind of I don't know how Mara Luna sets up, but I know the Treffin Festival, they have a little panel that sets it up. But we are on the record label that got us under last time. So, I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully that'll happen for us here soon. And I'm open up for the Mara Luna thing. Nikki from Deadborn Babies, she was, I've seen her do a post a little while back where she has some kind of festival going on in Canada, so I think there's a lot. I think that one's already filled up, but we wouldn't mind doing that. I just didn't have a bass player, or I would have contacted them on that one. So I don't mind doing small shows with us, because we still have a full sound, but everybody wants to have the full band,
Yeah.
So we can still do a few of those, but I don't want to book any of the big. Well, of course, if I got one of those really big ones, it's okay. We'll just pay somebody to do bass. But some of those other stuff, I didn't want to do until until we got the bass player. So.
Remember the Cramp stuff? They do some shows with no bass.
Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try it. If it's cool and people are still cool with it, then we'll play whatever comes our way without a bass. It's cool.
Look at the White Stripes, remember?
Right.
Oh yeah.
2-piece.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've heard our playback. It sounds full, and Kris is on top of everything. So because it's going to rely on him a lot to keep that atmosphere and remind everybody there's no so no one forgets, so everyone forgets that there's no bass there.
Yeah.
So but he's doing a great job. So we're pretty excited about it. And we got some kind of creepy, odd songs too. So it fits. And of course, Tony's always solid. And me, I'm just fucking crazy. So.
Hey, aren't we all?
I don't even know.
We're the sane ones. Everyone else is crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Right. It's like, doesn't everybody dress like this? What the hell? So. But yeah, so we are looking forward to start playing out and stuff like that. And like I said, we're not gonna, we're not gonna just shy away from everything like that. I mean, of course, grant you, like I said, if one of the bigger festivals wanted us to do something now, we'd rise to the challenge on it. So it's not a problem. We're gonna do what is out there for us. I'm sure we'll do the whiskey again because we like to do the whiskey just so we can, and it costs a little bit of money. But we like the live recording, the video, because I'm trying to document the scene and with the Pestilent Windfolk and thing like that. I got a lot of projects that I want to do. BSU's doing a vinyl, so we're gonna have that vinyl out. We should have some of those for sale, but that vinyl probably won't come out till closer to the end of the year. Of course, I'm getting ready to start recording the second album. We're gonna be shooting some videos. I think one or two, maybe your man. So. Awesome. So we're gonna do some of that stuff.
You guys are very theatrical, and I think that's one thing that the scene is lacking of. More of the art, more of the theatrics, and that's what I really enjoy about you guys. Even
how odd with the scene that should pride itself on theatrics and artistic expression taken to the hilt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, we'll be the more exciting ones.
The scene has always had, there's always the peacocks. We're all peacocks, right? Yeah. We just love to dress up. But there has come a time in the last 10 years, maybe more, where they focus a little too much on fashion, and the grassroots of it all was music. Yeah. I mean, me and Tony remember I would go to clubs in Chicago, and I'd see Flesh for Lulu and Gene Loves Jezebel and The Cure, but I saw them right at the thing,
Me and this guy are old.
We're older. That's a train.
So I'm gonna ask about a couple things about the scene, and then I think after that I'm gonna wrap. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But so anyways, like I said, it's becoming like just like a big fashion show, and and you kind of get lost after a while with that, because honestly, it's like, how many girls and guys are gonna see? Thousands of them wearing that, and that's great, but that's cool and it's great. We want them there, but you kind of lose the fact that people used to come to the clubs and stuff to see the bands. Yeah. And not a lot of them do that. Every once, there's bands that'll come to see shows, but they don't flock like they used to.
You two have been in the scene for a long time. What was the biggest things? What are the things you miss a lot, like the most? Is it do you think it lacks creativity?
The live bands. I mean, I miss the fog and the strobe lights and the cloves.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, I love that. I love that shit. And then they come in and it's dark, and then you're listening to music, everybody's dancing, they're doing their we all do that.
Yeah.
And then the band comes on, and the low strung guitars and the bass, and it's just. Fuck yeah, that's why we're still doing it.
Yeah.
That's how we are when we're on stage. So.
After reading Pestilent Windfolk, I will admit I got a little sad because I felt like the way it was you two expressed the scene, it was like it's missing something, and it's definitely missing the music part. But it also inspired me to start focusing more on my creativity again.
Cool. Yeah, that's great.
Why we do it.
Yeah. And I thank you, both of you guys, for that, because it's just, I loved reading every single interview about.
Oh, yeah. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, we got another one coming, huh?
So that's why we stay in the game. It's just like to inspire people. Just the thrill of opening an album and smelling it and listening to the music. Music's transcendent. I mean, it's like. It's a form of magic. You can write a song, where does it come from? I think that's what magic really is, because you can't explain it. You don't know where it came from, it just happened. So that's the beauty of it. And you're always learning, that's the whole thing too. You can stay in music forever. You could live 100 lifetimes and still not know everything. So there's so much to learn, So why any of these people ever stop is beyond me, man. Like, how could you ever get bored of playing music? Because you're never at your pinnacle of what you can be, ever, and you're not gonna be. So there you go. There's your reason to stay in it forever.
So where can people find Black Heroin Gallery?
Well, you can actually, if you want to buy the album, of course you can download it on Bandcamp. But you can buy it basically anywhere online. I mean, or you can go to the record label, which is in Germany, darkdimensions.de. You know, that's the German version of .com, and we're under that's a record. We're under Alice in Dark Dimension label group. So I think Dark Dimensions has 4 or 5 subgroups. You know, like so I don't know what the other names are, but ours is Alice in. And there's a lot of bands that people would, you know, Bloody Dead and Sexy. The Vamps were on that. Oh God, there's a big list. I forget them now. But you can go to that website. You can't find it, but you can find it pretty much on any online store, you know, that sells music or CDs or goth or death rock. You pretty much find it almost anywhere in the world. So because it's everywhere. We've had people from
Everywhere but amoeba.
You know, I was about to ask that.
from everywhere, but
Everywhere in the world, but.
it actually came to Amoeba. The Vamp stuff was so. This probably will too, because the distributor does sell to Amoeba, so I would assume
Maybe it's
it'd
in
be,
the San Francisco sector.
could be, yeah. But you know, I've already had people from everywhere, from Russia to Italy to Australia, said they bought the album, so that's really cool.
All right, guys. Well, that is it. I really enjoyed the interview with Tony, Eyajo, and Curtis. Please check out their music, and I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I also put a link on the description where you could buy Pestilent Windfolk and their Bandcamp. All right. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.